Okay. So tonight was an awesome night. The stadium, fans in the stands, parents in the stands. First time our players or parents have seen a game in person since 2019. It's the first time my wife and kids have been in a game since 2019. So that part was awesome. Our student section was rocking. All the other sports teams were here having a blast. I thought it was a really cool game day. And that's one of those great things that we're trying to build with our program and our athletic department, is to create a great football environment for people to enjoy. And I thought tonight was as good as it gets that way. As for the football, obviously we started off really hot. There was a lot of really fun plays early on. I thought Nick Starkel was fantastic. He distributed the ball really well, went to lots of different people. I'm sure he'd like to have that pick six back, but I'll let you guys talk to him when he gets in here. Tyler Nevins ran the ball with insane physicality and just showed why it's so awesome that he's back for another year. I feel like we are incredibly blessed with that. And then I think we have a lot to clean up. Obviously there are too many penalties, and we had 2 touchdowns called back. We had a 70+ yard kick return called back. We had a blocked field goal called back. We had a tackle for loss and a sack that would have knocked him out of field position that got called back. So there's lots of stuff for us to clean up, which is great because, we got work to do. First game of the season, so many young players played. It was so great to see some of those guys get out there and play. Lots of those guys have never played before. The goal line stand in the fourth quarter was awesome. So I'm fired up, and I also know that we got a lot of work to do. So that's kind of where we're at. What do you got?
We're going to open up for questions. Just go ahead and ask.
Okay. Hey, Brent, Victor here. Obviously, like you said, besides the turnovers and penalties, how would you gauge where you are from 2020 to the energy and effort from today, and how do you just rate that in your mental meter?
Yeah, well, I thought the effort looked really good to me. We had a lot of people at the football, high effort plays. I think, we definitely had some just kind of first game rustiness, first game overexcitement. You can see that with the offside penalties on the defensive side of the ball. So I think that part of it, but I'm encouraged. I think our team understands what effort looks like. And I think when we look at the film, we're going to feel good about that, and also be able to tweak it a little bit and find out, maybe do we have all 11 playing that kind of blue line effort that we want. All right, see you guys. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, Coach. Vita's here with the Bay Area News Group. I didn't see a lot of Jermaine Braddock after the early portion of the game. Did something happen to him?
No, not that I know of. We were rolling a bunch of guys. And so that was part of our plan at the receiver position with the departure of Trey and Bailey. We need to see who can play. And so I think that was fun, right? Charles Ross had a 60, 70-yard touchdown reception. And you saw Braddock chase down a deep ball that was a big play. And obviously Sam Olsen had a big one. So that part was really fun. Dees had a nice one. So we're going to try and, that's going to be a little bit by committee until some of those guys establish themselves.
Brent, you mentioned a little earlier, there's a lot of switching out going on. I think that's normal, but is that just really accepted by the players? And I know they all want playing time, but there seems like even more switching out going on. And
yeah, well, I think as you get healthier as a football team, as a football program, you have more guys that can play, right? Like you have more guys that are capable of positively impacting the football game. The beautiful thing about where we're at right now with our team is that we have an unselfish group. They understand that they have to share those opportunities. And, until somebody clearly establishes himself as the man at their position, we're going to continue to roll guys and give other guys a chance to make plays. And it's important that those other guys play so that, if you have injuries, if you have graduation, just natural, matriculation, you need other guys that are ready to play. And so as much as those second group guys or third group guys can get on the field and play, there's no substitute for playing football. Like you have to play the game. And the hard part is that you only get, 12 trying to play 13, and you can't simulate the speed and the physicality and the intensity of a game in practice. It's just very, very hard to do. And so it's great to see those guys play.
Coach, were you at all surprised that Nick Starkel's first touchdown was a rushing touchdown, not a passing touchdown?
Yeah. Yes, I was. I would prefer he'd hand that ball off. But in the football sense of it, he made a good decision. So it was good. It was great to see him do that and get in. Obviously Nick's been a great addition to our team, and him willing to, sacrifice his body and pound it in like that was, I think, good for everyone to see. You can ask Tyler Nevins. He's going to be on here in a second. He'll tell you if you like seeing it. But were you in, or was Kyrie? You're at. So Tyler's here. He's going to be like, yeah, he should have given me the ball. I would have walked in, right? So no, I'm just kidding.
You also had very quick scoring drives, averaging about 2 minutes almost per, each drive. Now, obviously that can be a good thing, but it can also be, not being on the field long enough. How did you feel about that, those quick scoring drive plays?
I never argue about scoring plays. So like, however you can get them, we'll take them. I do think it puts stress on your defense, but I feel like, our coaching staff has done a good job of recruiting talented players where we have substitute, and we have more than one group that we feel great running out there. And all the coaches did a great job. I haven't talked to the legend Lawrence Fan about our participation tonight, but I bet it was extremely high. I bet we played 80 guys tonight or close to it. So a year ago we were the highest participation team in the Mountain West Conference, which is important for us because those guys need to play. They work their butts off. They've earned it. Then you got to trust them to go in and do it.
My last question for you. I spoke with former head coach Mike McIntyre earlier this week. He told me to tell you hello. So first and foremost, hello.
Thank you.
And he actually said that he mentioned that he keeps tabs on you, that he watched the games last year, that he checks in with you regularly. I'm curious if that's kind of a norm for San Jose State, having old players and coaches check in like that, and what it's like to have him have your back, or be checking in like that.
I think every coach has mentors and friends and people that you communicate with throughout the course of the season. And Coach Mack has been phenomenal for me that way. He's a guy that I've always been able to call, talk to, bounce stuff off of. Hey, we're doing this. What do you think about that? He's been tremendous for me. And I love that. I think because I was an assistant coach here for a long time and then I left, a lot of those former coaches and players come back all the time. Now, I don't love it when they call me the day of the game and ask for field passes or tickets. I figure if you've been out of the program for 15 years, you could probably pay for your own ticket. But other than that, I love those guys coming back. I want every former player to come back to a game. I want them to come watch practice. I want them to feel like they are respected and appreciated by our program. And that's a really, really important thing to me. So whether it's Coach Mack or, any of the other guys that played here or coached here, they're always welcome. And if they call me on game day and ask for tickets, I'll probably give them to them.
Thanks.
Coach, you scored touchdowns on your first 5 possessions, and is that a tribute to preparation, to the fact that you have 20, a lot of returning starters, or the familiarity that Nick Starkel now has with this offense?
Well, I think our coaching staff does an incredible job. I think Kevin McGivern is one of the best play callers in the country, and he's an incredible teacher. I think Nick would agree with that. And he's got a great feel for it. And, we all know that's not normal to rip off scores like that to start a game. Like, I don't know how you guys felt. Like, the first half felt like the longest first half in the history of college football. But I can't argue with the result. And I'm really proud of, that. I think that speaks to our O-line's preparation, Nick's preparation, right? Everybody had all these concerns about the receiving group. Like, that looked pretty darn good to me. So, and then you think about when you combine that with the running game with Tyler and Kyrie, I think we have a really exciting group that's going to be fun for, all of us to watch and cheer on.
Time for one more, Coach.
All right. They gave you guys the one more call. That's it. Last call. Got deuces from Vic.
No, well, just one last thing. It's about looking forward to next week, See, obviously you mentioned a couple things to clean up, but how do you start going home now, watching film and starting to prepare for maybe one of the toughest games you're going to have all year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, USC is that team that everybody grew up watching. They've always been incredible. They are well coached. They have awesome personnel. They lost one game a year ago, right? They lost in the conference championship. And so they have a, first round draft pick at quarterback. They got draft picks at every position. And so how do we get ready for that? Right. To me, it's day by day, and we take it slow and we focus on the process and not next Saturday. And that's where it has to be for us. If we're going to do it the right way and build the team and the program we want, it's what are we doing right now? And so it's been hard because we had this game, but everybody, just the media, our players' families, their cousins, their uncle, all they want to talk about was the SC game, right? But you can't do that if you don't handle this business tonight against Southern Utah. So we'll get to work we'll put this one to bed tonight and tomorrow, and then we'll get started tomorrow on the SC game tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.